the second Monday of the week. So here we are. All right. So let's see if we can get everything up and running here. And if anybody can beat Jacob tonight with the 5x5, and we'll kind of go from there. So let's see what you guys got. Somebody hear me? Anybody? Anybody out there? Jacob's number one, as per normal, the winner. Okay. My God, I don't know about you guys, but I'm exhausted. Springtime wear out anybody else too? I mean, now that the sun's up a little bit longer, it's like, hey, cool, I can work and then get out and get some stuff done. And it's like, and then I'm going, oh my God, I got a couple of videos that I had to make. And then this thing's going on. I'm like, yeah, you think I'll crash tonight? Yeah, that's going to happen. No problem. So, all right. So I see the regular cast of characters in the way of my mods are in here. Patriot Sandwich Maker, Jacob, Indiana Prepper's in here. I gotta think North Shore is going to show up soon because I just left him up. There he is. Okay, so I say I just left him over at Metal for breakfast there, but go from there. So, okay. No real housekeeping today. I've been kicking you guys so many videos because all this crap going on. You guys pretty much know everything else that's going. So just kind of wanted to get into it, say hello here. I saw a couple of comments before I came on. Reverse Snowbird being the very first one. And darling, I feel for you. Yeah, we've all been there. Everybody thinks you're crazy and you're the only one, and it's tough on your own. But you're doing the right thing, and eventually they'll come to realize you're doing the right thing. So just keep doing what you're doing because you're on there. But wanted to say some hellos here: Scarlet Brimstone, JB Preps, Denise Cruz, Teresa Woods, the Rooster, David Williams, all the way from Mexico. Kevin Gaston's in here, Chief Jim, Lucy Constantine. I gotta find one. There was somebody who said this is her first one. Val's here. Who else is in here? Where is it? Dennis Wyckoff. I saw you making wine and Applejack, so good. With everything going on, you're probably going to need some. Jamie R., I saw you wrote something too, and I'm definitely going to agree with you on that one. My house completely looks like a freaking farm right now. I mean, I've got, after everything's transplanted under the grow lights, and now everything's getting bigger there, and I've got stuff in every window. And it's like, I need the weather to get warm so I can get some of this stuff out of the house because I still got stuff that's got to go planted in the house. And no, my onions aren't up yet, but I'm on try 4. Oh, Jamie, you were the one that was new here, okay? And you watch, okay. So welcome. Somebody else said good group of people in here, and yes, definitely a good group of people in here. So hello, everybody. Happy exhaustion night. Happy Tuesday. So, oh my God, you have 120 tomato plants. That's insane. Okay, I think I've got 24, 48, 72, 12, 84. I've got 86. So you got me beat. So, all right. Like I said, no real housekeeping to do today. You guys are probably as caught up as I could keep you caught up. So if there's anything else that happened at this point, I don't know. Because like I said, I've been running around like a chicken with my head cut off. So we'll jump straight into it. As per normal, Q&A. As I ask everybody all the time, please keep it family friendly in here. My moderators have the permission to give the kiss of death without any warning. And they're very good at that. So, we keep the trolls out of here real fast. And other than that, if you've got a question, please put them in all caps. As you guys know, I try to get through as many as I can, but I'm usually behind in the chat because as you guys are all talking, I'm trying to scroll down and get them as I can. So if you don't hear me answer your question quickly, give me 10 minutes or something, and maybe it's not that far down the list. If you think I've skipped your question, please go ahead and ask it again. If I see it again, I'll just skip it. We'll go from there. So. Okay, and I will kind of see what we got. Okay, we're going to go right into questions here if I can find some. And of course, I'm not seeing anything in all caps. So this would be what you guys would do to me. You have me scroll all the way down without any questions, right? And Thomas Hester's got some tart cherry wine going. Yeah, different ones are going to come out different ways. The grape is more like a sweet red. I've got some cranberry, the one I think I was telling you guys on Saturday that I was drinking. That's a much drier wine. make it exact the same way, but the juice is going to give you. I mean, cranberry juice is drier than grape juice, so you're going to still get that same dryness or sweetness or whatever. So don't remember if I've done cherry wine. I know I've done peach. I wasn't a huge fan of the peach wine. I don't think I've done cherry yet because I like the grape wine. So, but I figure I'll experiment along with you guys with some of these other ones. Just nobody do orange juice. It doesn't work. There is not a single freaking question in here. Are you kidding me? Okay, I guess I'll just sit here and wait for you guys. Linda S. Any sprouts on my sweet potatoes? Yes, I've got the roots forming. If you, by now, I mean, again, I told you this takes a while. It's been 2 months in there. But I've got roots that are probably, an inch to an inch and a half thick on the sweet potatoes. Once those get going, then you'll get the slips come up. We're still a month out, at least in my zone 6, from planting sweet potatoes, so I'm not worried about it. The one thing, you can remember, you can plant sweet potatoes anytime over the summer. It's not a big deal, but it's going to be 120 days from the time you plant those slips to the time you harvest. So don't try to go planting them in August or whatever. You won't make it. But, look at whatever you've got. You need 4 months between the time you plant and before the last frost. So if your last frost is October 1st, September, August, July, you got to be in by June 1st. Okay. So whatever, but you got some time here. But yes, they are going to be slow, so take care of that. Don't worry if you haven't got them yet. There's no rush. May 1st, May 15th is about my time to plant sweet potatoes. Okay, I'm going to try to find out where we were again here, because of course it shut down there all the way. Okay, where are we? I still see other stuff there. Now there's a whole bunch of stuff in here. Okay. I'm just going to kind of try to pick it up in here. So Happy Gardener 28, any luck finding my seed potatoes? So yes, first thing this morning, the store was open at 8 o'clock this morning, and I needed 40 40 pieces of potatoes, 40 eye sets, however you want to call it. Because I plant a 40-foot row of reds and a 40-foot row of whites. And if you guys caught my story yesterday, Burpee sent me some guy's purple potatoes that he had ordered in New York and sent my potatoes to him. And of course, they didn't have any more. So now I've had my Cannabecks coming and, we don't have any more. And I'm like, okay, it's getting very close to time to plant potatoes. And I knew at one of the stores I was at, actually it's our grocery store, had seed potatoes here a couple of weeks ago, last time I went to the grocery. So I ran up there to be first person in the door. I was there like 5 minutes before they opened this morning. Go in there, and literally there was not much left. And so I'm in there counting the potatoes, seeing how many pieces I can get out of them because I need 40. By the time I were done, there were 2 potatoes left in the box. So I got the last bit of potatoes, unless somebody's planting 2 potatoes this year. So yes, I did get my seed potatoes. I'm praying to God that these are good enough to work because obviously I got last pick. So we'll see what happens. But so the ones that were small and stayed whole, those are sitting in the window chitting right now, and the ones that had a cut, they're sitting in a pan over here on the counter. Give them a couple of days to kind of heal over and dry out. So that's my potato story. Patty, I don't speak German. Schon guten Abend zusammen. My pronunciation probably sucks. Jamie, you'll get to know me. Trust me. Good. Keep coming back. We have a lot of fun in here and a lot of good information shared. Okay, let's see where we got here. Common Man 55 in Jersey. It's okay. It was freezing this morning. It's supposed to get down to 27 here tonight, so don't want much out. Though my beets did start coming up, guys. There was the good one. I was out in the garden weeding today, and my beets, I do see maybe about a dozen beets that are coming up. Mrs. P said she saw some of the spinach coming up. I wasn't on that side of the garden, and I know my radishes and my peas are doing fine, so things are growing. But yeah, it's supposed to be 27 tonight, so there's nothing outside right now. But it's supposed to be in the 70s here tomorrow. So let's see. You and a damn German, Patty Bob. I don't speak German. Gotta translate. JB Preps, what's my favorite fish to catch? Favorite to catch? I love catching striper just because they're a hell of a lot of fun to catch. And we can get some monster stripers here out of the lake here. I mean, getting a, 20 inch, 18, 20 inch striper here. I mean, that's nothing. I mean, some of the ones that they'll catch here be, 24 inch, 20 some odd, 30 some odd pound stripers I can pull out of this lake here. My favorite eating one to catch, I mean, obviously a huge fish like that, you're not keeping to eat those, you're throwing back. Or mounting them, and I'm not mounting my fish. But no, for eating fish, I mean, let me go after my crappie if I just want to fish from the dock. If I want to get out in the boat, I want to go after smallies. If I'm taking my daughter out, we're going for bluegill. So all depends. I'll find use for something of any of them. I can, dry them, smoke them, fry them. Or the bluegill usually get used under plants, so because they make good fertilizer. So no matter what, there's use for all of them, but they're just fun to go out and catch sometime too. Brett Ringer, cold down there on Friday night. Yeah, it's supposed to, like I said, it's supposed to be 27 tonight. This is supposed to be the coldest of the week. We're supposed to be up in the 40s overnight for the rest of the week. So I'm kind of keeping an eye. Our last frost here is supposed to be the end of April, but who knows with what's going on with, grand solar minimum right now. For all I know, it could be 60 degrees all month at nighttime here now, and we'll get snow in June. I mean, that's kind of how the weather's going to go right now. Dawn Marie, thank you. That's sweet. I appreciate that. Green Smoothie Queen, do you ever go on vacation? Do preppers do that? Well, let's see if my vacation counts going up to Indiana next month to see my daughter graduate from college. I guess so. We probably haven't been on vacation since, I think we went to San Diego when we lived in Vegas for a weekend in 2016. So yeah, occasionally. It's just work, whatever it would be. Dennis, you're welcome. Thanks for all the videos today. Well, I mean, as per normal, guys, if there's, I'll use the term breaking news. If there's something that's important that I think you guys need to know at the time, quickly, or something comes out that's, very effective very important, and I want to tell you before all the spin and the craziness gets out about it, I'll put the videos out. If it's just, I'm not going to put out a video just for the sake of putting out a video. I mean, you got better things to do. I got better things to do. If I'm going to put out a second one in the middle of the afternoon, it's because usually it's something important. I mean, I'll always try to get you that one in the morning. That is, maybe it's something to do with gardening or the economy or something to do with prepping or anything like that, on actual things we can do. The afternoon ones, when those come out, those are usually, some sort of important information more that you need to know. Or look, like you got yesterday, me just needing a rant. But yeah, that's what it is. But I appreciate you guys listening to me because sometimes it's my escape too. Okay, let's see. GenBoyle's only be growing 18 tomato plants this year, double last year. Hey, if it's what you got space for, it's what you got time for, and if it's what you're going to eat, then no need to grow anymore. I mean, we go through tomatoes here like who shot John? So, I mean, probably tomatoes with breakfast, tomatoes with lunch, tomatoes with dinner. I mean, both of us love tomatoes. So us growing tons of tomatoes is no big surprise. And if we got any extra, it turns into salsa and tomato sauce and whatever we can turn it into too. RBF Calf, best mods are here. I will certainly agree. I got some absolute fabulous mods that take care of this place real good. Mark Narducci, Kennebecs, yep, that's the whites that I grow, and that's the Pontiac Reds that are the red ones. Patty B, the volcano in Iceland that erupted, the first time in 800 years, prep, yeah. We saw the ones down in the Ring of Fire going off. We don't know, guys. I mean, Mount St. Helens went off in, what was it, the early to mid 80s or something like that, and that had been years and years and years before. They wake up every once in a while and it's like, okay, we don't know the San Andreas Fault. I mean, there's, been earthquakes all over the place. There's been a couple of light ones in Tennessee this year. So, you never know what this craziness that's going on, that Mother Nature is going to do. And, you got to prepare for it. You don't know. So, Ricky, thank you for the super chat. I do appreciate that. That will obviously get put to good use and more food, which is where it always goes. Uh, Laborers, do I can? Yes, we do. We are not pros at it by any means. We're still learning. I know we get this question quite a bit. When I'm canning stuff, I watch Sutton's Days, Lisa over there, and then I watch Wanda at Deep South Homestead. Learn some canning tricks from them. I know a few of you guys have sent me some other channels to watch. Rudy over Alaska Prepper did an interesting one over the weekend, end of last week or whatever it was. Pressure canning a brisket, and he said it was like the best brisket he ever had. I got to figure out if you could do it with liquid smoke, because unless you got that smokiness taste to it, I mean, brisket's got to have a smoky taste to it. So, yes, we do can, but like I said, we're not experts. We're amateurs at it, and so hence that's why you don't see canning videos from me, because I'm not gonna pretend to be an expert on something, or pretend to tell you something I know that I don't. Okay, so I try to keep the information that I'm telling you to where my expertise lies, and let you get your expertise on other topics from somebody who knows what they're doing. So that's it. That's why nobody could ever say, gee, you only need to watch one channel. No, there's a whole bunch out there. And trust me, I think I've got 52 channels in my subscription list, so that I'm going through all the time trying to find out what's going on. Brent Ringer, I have problems with onion seeds too, wondering why. I have no idea. I think I bought 3 packs of seeds from this one company, and not a single one came up, and I've planted 2 whole packs of it. So I got a feeling I got bad seeds from them. So Mrs. P and I, when we were out, Walmart sometime over the weekend or whatever, I picked up another pack of seeds. They're not even heirloom seeds, they're hybrid seeds, they're just regular yellow onions. But I figure, okay, I'm gonna go for it, and if I get it, and we'll go from there and see what happens. But I need to grow some onions, and I mean, literally, my onions were supposed to go in the ground this weekend, and I don't even have seedlings yet. So I'm way behind the power curve on onions at this point. So I don't know what I'm gonna get. With the eyes, PJO 2179. What made you choose Tennessee as your home? You think that's your forever home? Okay, and I'm guessing you're relatively new. It's been asked a few times, but it hasn't been asked for a long time. So for all of those of you guys that are new, I'll let you know. Mrs. P and I, before we lived out here, we lived in Las Vegas. Okay, suburbs thereof. And after the 2018 election, when Nevada went from blue to red, and literally, you know, uh, elected a philanderer for Clark County's representative, a Bernie Sanders follower as our senator, and a old gangster as the governor, we said we got to get the hell out of Nevada. Okay, and we had in our minds, we knew that our criteria was we wanted to find a log cabin-ish house on a body of water, because I love to fish, on a lake or something like that. And Mrs. P wanted trees, okay, because I was in Vegas, you got palm trees, and that's about it. Okay. So we started looking. We looked in Idaho and Montana first. Montana was just way too expensive for what they wanted for housing. And then in doing our research on Idaho, the prices just kept going up and up and up and up. And from talking to people up there, they're like, well, all these people from California are moving up. And we're like, well, that's what we're trying to get away from. So that ruled that out. I'd lived in Texas before, so I thought of that. That was too hot for Mrs. P. We looked at Wisconsin, but Wisconsin was too busy trying to flip going blue, so we said to hell with that. Looked back at Indiana. I lived there before, but I couldn't find anything with the lakes. And then we started looking at North Carolina, Kentucky, and Tennessee, and we found this house in Tennessee. So we hopped a plane 1st of February 2019, flew out here, put the offer in on the house on the 2nd of February and moved in, sold both our properties, our house and our condo that we rented out in what, 45 days, and we're out here April 15th. So we found the house because it was literally the only house we found in all the places we were willing to live that was the size we wanted with the amenities we wanted that we could afford. So that was how it is. But yeah, this is our plan to be our forever home. We're not going anywhere after this. So, you know, right now we are just busting our butt to get it paid off. And, you know, as soon as we can do that, then we will be completely out of debt and we will be very happy. It's the last thing we got to pay off, and we're close, but hopefully, maybe if we're lucky by the end of the year, if we play our cards right, we can have everything done. Beverly Benton, how do you keep from getting overwhelmed? I'm by myself and exhausted. Very good question. Okay. And I get this one often, and I tell everybody this. You cannot, absolutely cannot prep 24/7. Okay. You have to do something else to get your mind off of it. Okay. I've got my job. That helps. Okay. I go out and play with the dogs. You know, sure, you could consider gardening still prepping in a way it is, but I mean, I thoroughly enjoy gardening. So, you know, getting out and doing that. I thoroughly enjoy building stuff. I mean, I started building my smokehouse, and if the ground ever dries out here so I can pour some concrete, I will get the next step done. You have to find something to do. Otherwise, you know, as I've said many times, you've got to live the life while you have it. None of us are promised tomorrow. Okay. You could have all the preps in the world, and, you know, you don't know. I mean, it's, you know, the joke all the time that, you know, people say, oh, you got to quit smoking, or you got to quit drinking, or you got to quit eating McDonald's or whatever it is. Well, I agree with all that sort of stuff. I guarantee you this. If you have somebody that wakes up one day and has an epiphany and says, you know what, today's the day I'm going to quit smoking, quit drinking, lose weight, stop eating McDonald's, and no more salt, that's the day they walk in the street and get hit by a bus. Okay. None of us are guaranteed tomorrow. So you've got to live your life for today too. You've got to enjoy life while you've got it. Yes, prep for bad times, but the last thing you want to have happen is 20, 30, 40, however many years now, you know, and when you take your last breath, go, damn, I spent all that time prepping and I didn't spend any time enjoying my life. And now my life is over, because we only get one. So yeah, prep, but don't get over consumed with it. See the grandkids, play with the dog, watch a movie, read a book, go for a walk, whatever it would be, you know, play in the garden. However, you know, you need to be okay up here too. You can't be like this. You're no good in a situation like that either. Do what you can, move on, you know, limit yourself. Go, okay, I'm going to work on this for an hour today. Tomorrow I've got a can, so tomorrow I'm going to do 4 hours. The next day I'm taking the day off. I'm not doing any prepping or something. And make yourself some sort of schedule like that so you can keep your mental health. It's very, very important to do, because otherwise you're just going to become a basket case. East Tennessee preparedness. Do I think the vaccine passports will really be enforced, especially in the South? Right now, we don't even know if they're going to come to fruition. Okay. This is just what Biden has a team doing, is putting this stuff together. Whether or not they can roll it out, I mean, see, again, it's like anything else. They can put it in play, but if nobody enforces it, it's useless. I mean, y'all can go online and look up some of the stupidest laws that are literally on the books. I mean, it's like, you know, there's no whale hunting allowed in Nebraska. I mean, that's actually a law that's on the books. I'm not sure if it's Nebraska, but it's a landlocked state. Okay. You know, no spitting on the sidewalk, you know, no walking your dog on a Sunday afternoon. You go look in any state and there's these goofy laws that are, you could get a ticket for it or arrested or whatever. Does anybody enforce it? No. Okay. So the laws are fruitless. it could wind up the same thing as this. You know, they could say, you have to have this little app on your phone, and all the states say, no, like DeSantis said, it will never be enforced in Florida. It's okay. If you don't think you're going to have other states that are going to follow that, like you said, especially the South, granted, Georgia supposedly went blue this last election. I don't buy it for a second. But yeah, I mean, you take anything of the South, anywhere up the Great Plains or whatever it is, sure. I mean, go ahead, try. Because, I mean, try to enforce something like that in Oklahoma. Oklahoma is so freaking solid red, it's unbelievable. It's just, again, you guys got to remember a lot of this stuff that they put out are political posturing, trying to appease the lobbyists who gave them a whole bunch of money. In this case, it's definitely the pharmaceutical lobbies. The pharmaceutical companies are definitely going, yeah, we need to make money, so let's make this mandatory from everybody. We gave you, $100 million for your election. Okay, we'll talk about this and make this in the news for a couple of weeks. But that's a possibility. The other possibility is 46 and his gang of clowns up there are this stupid that they actually think that they're going to put something like that through. So my guess is this is going to fall by the wayside, just like Beto going door to door. Okay. It's just not enforceable. Everybody says, oh, but Israel did it. Well, look at the size of country Israel is, and look at how many people are in Israel, and look at the size of the country the United States is, and look how many people are there. Okay. Again, you hear the stories, oh, you get off an airplane and at JFK or at LaGuardia, and they're going to check you. Oh, sure, okay. You tell me that can you imagine if everybody on the Holland Tunnel or the George Washington Bridge or whatever that goes in and out of Jersey and or the PATH train, for example, goes in and out of Jersey and New York day in, day out. Is there somebody standing there at the end going, show me your pass, traffic's so terrible as is, can you imagine having to stop everybody and say, oh, hang on a second, let me pull out my phone, I got to find the app. It's not going to happen, okay? You're going to go wherever the hell you want. So it is, and again, like I said in the video, if I walk into Walmart and the greeter says, can I see your Excelsior pass or whatever the hell they call it, I'm just going to look at them and go, no. I mean, literally, what are they going to do? I mean, a Walmart greeter can't arrest me, I mean, well, you can't come in, sir. You better grab me by the shirt and pull me out of here, okay? Because last time I checked, there's no law that says this is a requirement. You guys got to remember this, okay? There's a couple of things about this. First off, go look up what was said after the Nuremberg trials with everything that happened then about people being used as lab rats. And second off, go take a look at what the FDA has said about this whole thing we got going on now and what it's approved for, okay? And once you put those two together, none of this right now is legal. I mean, not on a U.S. law and not on a worldwide law level. So, again, if you volunteer the information, that's fine. But nobody can require you to say, here's my pass or whatever it is. And like I said in the video, you can't go to a basketball game or a baseball game or a Broadway show. Yeah, let's see how long that lasts when the Yankees are going, crap, we got $1 billion in contracts we got to pay this year, and we don't have anybody coming to the ball games. What are we going to do? It all comes back to money, guys, on their side and on the other side, okay? They want it, and if we got it and they can't get it, making more restrictions on us doesn't do them any good. So things will back down. It happens constantly everywhere. Think of toll roads, okay? They put in a toll road. People say, I'm not going to pay the toll. So everybody goes around the toll, and the state goes, well, why aren't we collecting any tolls? And why is traffic so bad over there? Well, it doesn't cost anything. Toll road comes down. That's just kind of how things work. Green Smoothie Queen, do preppers ever go on vacation? Yeah, usually they're called, prepper exercises. So we're going out in the woods and we're going to go camping and see how good all our stuff is. Uh, TH2, what is prepping? Dude, if you don't have that answer, you are in the wrong place. Uh, Jamie R., how long am I giving before total chaos to erupt because of the dictator we have as president? I think pretty much the entire world knows that he's a puppet. All right, that's not an issue. The total chaos is going to be in bits and pieces. The Derek Chauvin trial, that's going to start some chaos. They start pulling some of this stuff with HR1. That's going to add to it. Conversation we just had on the Excelsior Pass type thing. They do that. It's not going to, like I said, many videos, it's not like you're going to wake up one morning and the whole world's gone to hell. Okay. It's not like, somebody just nuked us or whatever. It's going to be bits and pieces that are going to come at you and come until the people finally go, enough already. And that's when everything happens. Now, you get situations like Portland or Seattle or Minneapolis from last summer, and those start happening more. That just ramps everything up because that's just pitting two sides against each other. When that gets bad, eventually the shot heard around the world. Eventually, somebody's going to pull the trigger on that one, and that's just going to be the powder keg to it. So, as for when, I can't give you a when, but if again, all the things I just mentioned, then add the economy to it, let the stock market crash. They just another band-aid on this rent moratorium. Oh, gee, we'll just push it out another 3 months. Great, let's let people get 3 months further behind in rent because nobody's going, oh my God, we got 3 months. Thank God we can work really hard and pay all that back rent we owe. Sure, show me one person that's worried about paying all the back rent they owe. There isn't one. Okay. Connie Sailor, did I find my potatoes? Yes, I did this morning. Okay, a lot of potato questions, and then we shot up to the top again here. Or to the bottom, actually. Okay, gotta find where I am again. Okay, only could let me go so far, so. John 13:7, yeah, German cities suspend the AstraZeneca vax for people under 60s. I saw that today. I guess there's all sorts of worry about blood clots on that one now. Well, there has been, but I guess now they're taking it a little more seriously. The Rooster, do we live in a true log home? Did we build it ourselves? No, we did not build it ourselves. The house was built in 2011. We bought it in 2019. It's not a true log home. It has log siding on the outside, and obviously, as all the videos you've seen me, you can see it's got tongue and groove knotty pine walls and ceilings all over everything. There's not a drip of 1 square inch of drywall in this house. The entire place is wood. So, which is what we wanted. We wanted the cabin feel. That was exactly what it was. Lisa Preps, can I do a video when I pull apart and plant the sweet potato slips? Not sure how to do it. Have about 10 slips on one potato and take Mrs. B on vacation before you can't. Okay. Yes, I will absolutely do one on the sweet potato slips. And if you got 10 slips on it going, you're good. I'm not sure what zone you're in, but unless you're talking about being, Georgia, Mississippi, Louisiana, something like that, it's too early to plant them anyway because sweet potatoes don't like cold weather. So. Diana, stress can kill you. Yeah, no kidding. Tell me about it. I mean, I'm on blood pressure medicine. Yeah, for good reason. Rooster, we built our everyday vacation. Yeah, that was kind of the thing about us buying this house is this is kind of like living in a vacation. Now, you got to understand, Mrs. P being from Russia, she wants to see some of the United States, everything. I mean, what's she seen? She's seen Utah, Wyoming, Idaho, California, Arizona, Nevada, New Mexico, Arizona, I said Arizona, Oklahoma, Texas, Tennessee, Indiana, Kentucky, Virginia. That's it. So, and here's a good one for you guys. All right. I've been on 3 continents 38 states, and I've never been to Florida. My only experience ever being in Florida was changing planes in Miami. That was it. Okay. So she wants to go to Florida sometime. We're thinking about if we take a trip, it'd be a long weekend and maybe go to Florida or go to South Carolina. So she's seen the Pacific. We got to show her the Atlantic and we'll go from there. Okay. As we roll on down here. Jules, yes, now I'm really stressed. Okay, I'm hoping it's not from anything I said. Uh, David Williams. Wait, well, you live in Mexico. How do you live in a very liberal area? Talk about living in plain sight from the enemy. Okay, granted, I get it's in Mexico, but I'm just kidding with you. Uh, Miss T, are the passports for airline travel or for more than that? Well, and I'd say go back and watch the video I put up yesterday, I believe it was, or was it today? Whatever it would be. I think it was yesterday. I don't know. Days run together, and especially when I'm recording it on Monday and posting it on Tuesday, and so I forget which days it is. Uh, but like the Excelsior passes in New York, that is literally to go to Madison Square Garden, Yankee Stadium, Shea Stadium, to see a Broadway play, anything like that. You can't do that. What the 46 administration is talking about is not only planes, trains, buses, cabs, subways, whatever would be, but also stores and jobs. Okay, which is going to be real interesting because I want to know how they are going to be able to dictate to a private business what that private business has to do. Okay, that's going to be interesting, especially when you get, let's say, trying to dictate to a private business in Florida. Okay, federal government says yes, the state government says no. You could feasibly have the local government that says yes. So guaranteed, if that comes up, that thing, I mean, there's probably already lawyers going, yep, okay, all we got to do is, fill in the name of who the plaintiff is because we know this is going all the way to the Supreme Court. Uh, but yeah, I mean, the Excelsior Pass National is for more than just airplane travel. It's for going back to work. It's for going to stores. It's for everything. Do. Scroll in, scroll in, scroll in. Diane Lashuk, I can see the USA falling like Canada. We're months ahead of you. Fight for your gun rights. Yeah, well, I mean, that that's you name it right there. The Second Amendment is the only thing right now that is keeping the entire world from going to hell. Because, as I've said many times, the World Economic Forum, the NWO, they are completely hogtied, can't do anything unless the U.S. is on board. Okay. Trump got elected, and that completely put a nix on them for 4 years. That was why it was so important to by hook or by crook to get Biden in, so they could get that somebody who's just a puppet. But the Second Amendment is the one thing that stands in the way for them, because as Hirohito said in World War II, there's a gun behind every blade of grass in the United States, and that's the thing. The elites, okay, they all know that law enforcement and military, for the most part, okay, and pretty much all the veterans are against this bullshit, because all of them have swore an oath to protect this country from all enemies, foreign and domestic, and most of them have fought against communism. So when we signed that blank check, whenever we went in to fight against communism, we certainly thought it meant over there, not here. Okay, ain't letting it come here. All right, and everybody can say, oh yeah, veterans, oh they're old and fat or whatever it is. Okay, I'm older than I was, I'm fatter than I was, and everything like that. But you know what? This little finger still works real well, and these things still work pretty good. So, and this thing hasn't slowed down. So, yeah, I don't care if you're 22, you still can't outrun a 5.56. Mama Preps 4. In Montana, a group of Indians is considered a war party and you can shoot them. That's awful and needs to come off of the books. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. These are the goofy laws that are on the books. I mean, there are, uh, I challenge you all, go look up tonight, strange laws in your state. You'll get a good laugh for 10 minutes going, what do you mean I can't eat ice cream on a Sunday? Uh, it's that kind of stuff that's out there. Uh, yeah, Patriot Ref. Go ahead and require a passport. See how business tanks for everyone that requires one. Exactly. And I already do that. If I walk into I walk into every store, I won't put on a mask. Okay. And Mrs. P will. She doesn't want to cause any problems or anything like that. But I won't do it. She's like, "Are you gonna put on a mask?" I'm like, "No." And I go in and nobody says anything to me. But if anybody says, "Sir, you have to have a mask on," I go, "Good, ma'am, I have to go spend my money somewhere else." And if 100 other customers do that, all of a sudden these businesses are like, "Oh my God, why don't we have any business? What are we doing?" Let me tell you. So, I mean, that's how you do it. If enough people say no, eventually, again, voting with your dollars, then that business owner is going to be going, "I can't do this. I need to be open." I mean, imagine, you could talk about Walmart, biggest brick and mortar company in the world. Imagine all of a sudden if Walmart lost half their business overnight because everybody, they mandated that you wear a mask in the store and everybody said no. I mean, I go into Walmart here, there's people wearing masks, there's people not wearing masks. That's fine. That's your choice. I mean, you could wear a complete bodysuit if you want. I don't care. All right. That's your choice. You go in clown. I mean, people go into Walmart in pajamas anyway. You can wear your pajamas to Walmart. Doesn't mean I'm going to. It's your choice. That's fine. I think you look like a moron, but that's your choice. So, just don't try to mandate all this crap to us. Uh, let's see. Where are we? Diane S., what do I think of China trying to overtake or take over Taiwan? Will we get involved? That's probably the hottest point in the world right now to be worried about. Okay, and I know everybody could say Iran or Afghanistan or whatever it is. Taiwan's the biggest thing to worry about because remember, China basically already said, they completely blew off the agreement they had with Great Britain on transferring control of Hong Kong. I mean, that was supposed to happen in 2050. This is 2021. And China's basically said, screw you, we're just taking Hong Kong back. Okay. Uh, Remember, China has always said that they still, just like they said with Taiwan, or with Hong Kong, they've always said that they still, that Taiwan is Chinese territory. I mean, if you ever watch the Olympics, okay, remember this one, you'll always see Chinese Taipei, okay, as the country. That's Taiwan, okay, because the IOC has been forced by China to recognize Taiwan as Chinese Taipei. So China really wants Taiwan. And, there's a whole lot going on in the South China Sea. There's a whole lot going on with China and Russia, too, if y'all haven't paid attention to that, because 46 in his illustrious idiocity has pushed both the Russians and the Chinese away from us, which has pushed them together. And you get a Russian China alliance, and now you can start worrying. Now you're talking about not only a superpower, but a major superpower. Okay. Because the one place that China is seriously lacking militarily is in a navy, and the one thing Russia has is a navy. Okay. Russia is lacking in manpower. Well, China got plenty of that. The sticking point with the two of them is going to be Eastern Russia, and because the Chinese want to go up there, the Russians are very particular about keeping their land. So if something happens there, but I mean, they're already talking about trade routes, new roads, rail lines, you name it, to increase the trade from China to Russia, because Russia sends a lot of oil to China and China sends a lot of manufactured goods to Russia. And Russia has a trade deficit with China. But China is definitely on a expansion path. They want to take back Hong Kong because they claimed it was theirs. They want to take Taiwan. They claim it's theirs. If something like that happens, yeah, we will definitely be involved. Uh, that's probably the world's hot spot right now. The other one to watch is pay close attention to what's going on with China and India. Okay, that could turn into a serious world issue if you know what I mean by that. Uh, Deanna Walters was just on a plane. Jamie, I'm not a sheeple. Good. Uh, America first. And how can they get by the HIPAA law? Okay, well, HIPAA, and I'm assuming we're going back talking about forcing a passport. Uh, HIPAA can be suspended in times of a national emergency. Now, of course, the first thing they have to do is declare a national emergency, and then everybody's going to know why. Okay. And I think it's a little late now to declare a national emergency for COVID. How come it wasn't a national emergency for a year? And now that you've rolled out the jab, now it's a national emergency. The logic's not going to hold water very long at all. But the thing to remember about HIPAA is if you volunteer the information, you're not protected by HIPAA. Technically, they're not even supposed to ask you for it, but anybody can ask you for anything. I mean, I could walk up to you on the street and say, hey, Jacob, can I have $1 million? And your answer is going to be no. Okay. Same thing. Sir, can I see your passport? No. And they can't do anything. Okay. If they force you to, then you have a violation. Okay. But if you volunteer it, you can talk about, you could walk into Walmart and spend 15 minutes with the cashier telling them about your heart bypass. That's totally legal. Your doctor can't go into Walmart and tell the cashier about your heart bypass, but you can. So, yeah, when they can start sharing information, they're going to have to change the HIPAA laws. But as for requiring you to give that information, that's a violation of HIPAA because they have no right to ask you for your medical. They have no right to get it from you. How do I put this? They can ask you, you can say no. You don't have, if you volunteer it, but they can't demand it from you. Okay, that's a violation of HIPAA until they change the law. And you know how much the Constitution means to the folks in Washington that are in the ruling party right now. I mean, they don't care about any of it. Ricky Beerlard does not play with others. No, I don't. No, I don't. And I'm proud of it. I will tell you how to cow ate the cabbage, and that's it. If you like it, great. And if you don't, goodbye. The Rooster, we're taught to stay away from drugs, and they want to make it mandatory. Not going to happen. I'm a cancer survivor. Got that attitude. That's the craziest thing that makes no sense to me. Okay, is you hear all the time, my body, my choice. Yet when it comes to my body, my choice, if I say the same thing when they want to stick me in the arm with something, they're like, oh no, it's not your choice. Wait a minute, double standard much. Then you talk about drugs, if you will, that have been extensively tested. And I mean, let's use any narcotic. Okay. If you don't think that, marijuana, cocaine, heroin, opium, methamphetamines, fentanyl, whatever, hasn't been extensively tested, you're wrong. Okay. I mean, they pretty much know anything and everything about it. And they've determined that it's not good for you. Okay. Yet now we've legalized marijuana in about half the country, and I think Oregon's legalized magic mushrooms. Okay. And if anybody's legalized, I'm not talking about painkillers, but I mean, if anybody's legalized opiates or whatever it is, I don't know. But so now we're going to take a drug that has not been approved for anything other than emergency use, and we're going to mandate it. That's a problem. So, yeah, makes no sense to me. But I agree with you. We're taught to stay away from drugs, and then they're going to mandate that you take something. Yeah, Dove Jacobs, you bring up another one. We can just say, great, we'll use our Vax card as voter ID. That's the other one that kills me. For years we've heard, oh, it's too difficult for the poor in these remote areas to get an ID card, a voter ID card. It's too difficult for them to do it. Oh, but to get a vaccine ID, that's easy. Really? Okay. Again, double standard. You know, and I just wonder why we don't hear more about this coming out of Washington. It's like somebody had said, uh, I forget who it was in Congress, wanted to change the voting age to 16, and it was somebody in the House of Representatives. I remember that. It might have been AOC. I mean, think about that stupidity. And so I wrote my congressman. I said, I'll tell you what. I said, go up to now let's use AOC for example. I said, go to AOC and said, that's great. We're going to change the age to register for the draft to 16 too, and let's see what happens. You know, maybe you did it, maybe you didn't. I don't know. But all I know is I haven't heard anything about dropping the age to vote to 16 since that day that was dropped out. So, but yeah, I mean, it. Sometimes you need to respond with a like ridiculous thing. Okay. You know, somebody just said here, I didn't catch it before it popped off my phone. Can't smoke, can't vote. Right. Exactly. I mean, I'm sorry if, I'll go back to my days in the military. It drove me nuts. It still drives me nuts that I can be 18 years old. I can be shipped off to war. I can get shot at and everything like that. But that 18-year-old kid can't go out and have a beer. That's ridiculous. All right. Now, at least make an exemption for the military. Whether you want to do it across the board, that's different. Okay. But if a kid can go get shot, a kid can sit there and go get a shot. Yeah, Jamie R. cough really hard and they'll back off. Yeah, the only problem is now you get accused of assault with a deadly weapon. Uh, Lisa Preps, yeah, CDC and FDA has not approved these vaccines. None are approved. Right, exactly. That's the thing. They're approved for emergency use only. And again, if we go back to Nuremberg says, and the world signed this, that people cannot be used as lab rats after what happened in World War II. Okay. Somebody tell me how this isn't anything different. Yeah, David Wood. Yeah, okay, we're up to three thumbs down, but okay, yeah, good. If we keep the trolls out of here, that's good. I have no time for trolls. Let's see where we got here. Northwood's mama. How do we all get our supplies if we aren't allowed in the stores? Can't move away. Okay, so this is what's going to wind up happening, and this is what Washington doesn't see. Every time they do one of these things, all it's going to do is start a massive black market. That's all that's going to happen. And then as soon as they realize they don't collect taxes on the black market stuff, then things will change again. All right. You'll have a cottage industry that's going to pop up real quick. And I think you're already kind of seeing it with, what was you got for like restaurants? You got Uber Eats and whatever some of these other ones are. I saw one on TV the other day. Now you can order, was it Drizzly? I think it was called. You can order beer and liquor and somebody will deliver it to your house. We already know you've got these grocery deliveries things and stuff. But what you're going to wind up having is you're going to get little neighborhood cottage industries put up. Some guy owns a pickup truck and who's, got his passport and he'll, have his block, let's just say, 20 houses, 30 houses, whatever it be. And he'll send an email to everybody saying, I'm going to these stores on Friday. What do you want? And I want this and this and this and this. And he'll go buy it, bring it back to you. You will pay him for it and he will charge you a fee for it. That's what will inevitably happen. Okay. That in the black market. That's why I asked everybody a few weeks ago, are you prepared? Are you self-sufficient where if you couldn't leave your property, could you do it? Because that's probably how we'll wind up getting if they completely shut down everything. Because if it gets to a point where you have to have the jab in order to go anywhere, I'm not going anywhere. Sorry, I'm not doing it, And if they have any complaints and say, hey, I'm a high risk patient. I've got high blood pressure. Poof. That's not good enough. Then I'll throw, like I said, throw Nuremberg at them. Then I'll say it's a religious objection. It's like, how many do you want me to come up with until you finally say, okay, you're not going to do it? Uh, Jacob, China just declared that only patriotic candidates can run for government. Boy, I wish we could do that here. That would throw out the entire Democrat Party. Well, wait a minute. All the Democrats could go run in China because they fit under that patriotic part, right? Uh, Caveman, look, my aunt got the second jab yesterday. She's sick as hell today. Yeah, that what I want to do. You know what, honey? I think I'm going to go out and get sick today. How about that for an idea? I mean, that's the logic of these morons. Uh, Ellis Ramirez came in late. Is it legal for your employer to ask you if you had the jab? No, not at all. Because again, that's HIPAA. They can ask, and your answer is, I don't have to tell you that under HIPAA laws. And they're literally, they can't do anything. Now you get into other laws, they could say, well, unless you tell us you're going to lose your job. Depends on if you're in an at-will or a right-to-work state, and then you don't tell us you're fired. Okay, if it's in an at-will state, they can do that. Your medical condition for that is not, you're not a protected class. So, you get a whole lot of jumps, but just legally for them to ask, no, they can't. David Paff, you never hear anyone talking about the immune system protecting us. Why? I think you do a lot. When 99.8 or something like that percent of the people who get it survive, that's your immune system. And I mean, a lot of people, I know Angry Preppers talked about it, many times. We just don't talk about it that much anymore because I think we beat it all to death. But yeah, if my immune system is nearly effective in fighting COVID as it was in fighting the flu, then I'm going to let my immune system do it. I mean, you guys, y'all can go and look at all the numbers you want. Okay. There's something more to it, and I know we've spent a whole lot of time talking about this, and YouTube will probably have my butt for this live stream, but such is so. Miss T, yeah, you need ID to get unemployment benefits, SNAP housing assistance. Why can't you get voter ID? Yeah, you need to cash a check, get on an airplane, buy a bottle of booze, whatever would be. I mean, again, it has nothing to do with voter ID. It has to do with the fact that the Democrats don't want to get caught for cheating, which, that's how you end up that's why they don't want voter ID. They want illegals to be able to vote and everything like that. That's just the way it is. We are down to 3 minutes. Vitamin D will help prevent COVID. They just won't tell you what is it. Vitamin D and zinc, and I forget the name of it all the time. The sheep drench, that one, a lot of people have talked about that was good for it, but nobody was making any money on it. So hence that's the reason why that one didn't go anywhere. It's all money and control, guys. August Blue, I heard approximately 50% of healthcare workers in Florida declined the jab. That's 50% of healthcare workers nationwide. Leah, how long have we been married? It'll be 6 years on November 10th. Jeff C., read 1984. I've read it twice, once in high school and once again about 5 years ago. Lake Ferry Prepper, I believe the ones wearing masks all the time are the ones getting sick. I don't know anyone getting sick that doesn't wear one. Yeah, actually, there's been scientific study that's saying wearing masks for a long period of time increases your likelihood of getting sick. Elderberry, vitamin D, zinc. Okay, yeah, I know vitamin D and zinc I've heard about. Elderberry I know is good for a lot of things. I haven't heard about it for COVID. Ivermectin, thank you. Jay Moore put it in there. I always forget the name of this stuff. It's the same stuff that goes into dogs' flea and tick medicine, or maybe it's their heartworm medicine, I guess it is. KD, do I think Ebola is their next rollout? That's my fear, okay? That's why I did the video the other day, just to kind of make you guys aware of how that's transmittable. because if they come up, if the media will be the one to push that one. Say, oh my God, there's all this, because you notice they tried to make it a headline story about what was going on in Ohio and Kentucky. Okay, these people are being quarantined for Ebola. No, they were being monitored because they came back from an area where it was. Not a single one of them tested negative, but that was, or tested positive. But that wasn't how the headlines read. The headlines wanted to make it sound like there was 44 people in Ohio and 10 people, or whichever, however the numbers were, in Kentucky that had Ebola. That's how the headline portrayed it. Didn't say it, but that was what it insinuated. And again, it's for eyeballs and for clicks, and for the sensationalism that they want to do. The hell with presenting facts anymore for the media. It's like, how can we stand out so I get more people to click me? I mean, look at Jim Acosta, the whole time during 45's presidency. The guy couldn't ask an intelligent question, yet he was in the news constantly. Why? First rule of being a newsman was never be the news. But that's not. I mean, all these guys want to be the next, Beyonce or whatever it is. They want to be the Walter Cronkite where everybody knows their name. Okay, you know what? Have a little bit of talent and some tact, and maybe you would be. So, all right, guys, it is 9 o'clock. It's been a long day. I appreciate everybody for stopping by today. We'll see if where we go from here, but hopefully tomorrow's a little quieter for everybody. So, y'all, thanks for coming by. Have a good one. Pinball out.